Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today we'll be drafting and sewing a short pant with elastic waistline. If this is something you would like to learn, please continue to watch. Thank you. Okay, so first things first, we're going to be marking out our border line 1 inch above 1 inch on the side. And then we're going to go ahead with our vertical measurement. First, I measured the short length of 18 inches and then I added 2 inches extra for hemming allowance. So I want the pants to be as short as 18 inches. Then I went ahead to mark this across the sheet horizontally. Afterwards, I went ahead to mark my each hip depth line and also the crouch depth line. So the hip depth line is about 8.75 inches. For some, it might be 9. I ruled this across. Then I went ahead to mark the crouch depth line. So my crouch depth is 12 inches and I had half of an inch as an allowance for ease. Then I also marked this across the sheet. Okay, so now we're going to be taking all the horizontal measurements. So the first one I'm going to be taking is going to be my hip measurements divided by 4. But first, let's label the lines so we don't get confused. So now on the hip line, you're going to take your measurements, hip measurements divided by 4 and then add 0.5 inch allowance for ease actually. So I did mine and then I projected the same measurements on the crouch line and on the waistline. Because it is an elastic waistband short, we do not need to cinch the waist in any way. So I'm going to be marking these 3 dots line together, joining them together. Then at the waistline, we're going to come in by half of an inch and then connect it to nothing at the hip line like so because the front is not as straight. So then at that crouch line, I'm going to go in by half of an inch on the side. And then from there, I'm going to measure my thigh measurements divided by 2. If you wish, you can add ease allowance to this as well, but I just did mine. And then at that point where the measurement stops, you're going to come down by 0.5 inch. This is just so the crouch area is easily free up. So the point where they connect at that angle, we're going to be measuring 1.025 inch. Then we'll connect this to the hip line and to the crouch uh, points like you see me doing here. Having done all of this, we're going to connect them as such. And then on the crouch line, we're going to take all the measurements that we have there and then divide it into 2 right from that 0.5 inside. But before we do that, at the waistline, come down by 0.5 inch and then connect it to the side like so in a slanted area. So now on the crouch line from that 0.5 inch, mark everything you have there and divide it into 2. Measure everything that you have there and you divide it into 2. So this is going to be a guide for how we want to centralize the rest of our measurements. If you were to be a straight pant with normal band, this line will be taken straight up and on that line will be having a dart. But because it is an elastic waist, right, we do not need all of that. So now we're going to be transferring the thigh measurements down to the M line, but minus 1 inch because the thigh is the lower part of the thigh is not as big as the thigh itself, and I don't want my shorts to be looking super big, right? So I minused 1 inch from there and then I took the measurement right to the M line. I hope this makes sense. So now you're going to label all your sides and then cross out every line that you do not need. So from the top line, I'm going to be measuring my band measurement of 2 inches and then I'll connect this together. So connect all the sides, all the points and label the band just so you don't make mistake because we'll be needing that label very soon. So now we chop, 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 cut it off and have our pattern ready. Having done all of this, we're going to be going to the back pattern. So the same procedure I repeated for the back pattern, only that at the top line, I left more allowance at the topmost part because we'll be needing that measurement. So now you repeat the process of marking your hip measurement divided by 4, project it on the crouch line and the waistline. Then at this point, to the thigh measurements, we are going to be adding extra 1 inch as opposing when we did for the front, right? So we're going to be adding extra 1 inch. Then at the top line, center back will come in by 1 inch and then go up by 1 inch. Why? Because the back is higher than the front. And then we'll connect it to the side, projecting the same hip measurement at the side. Ensure that you have your exact hip measurement there. So you are going to connect it to the hip. Connect it to the half inch that we took in on the tie. Remember the tie, we are adding 1 inch extra. We go through the same process of dividing the measurements into two on the pattern paper and then add all of our measurements up, put them in place like so. But remember that the back of a pant is usually bigger than the front. So at the lower part of the crotch line, we're going to be adding extra 0.5 inch. This is just to give your shorts enough room to cover up the back. Having done all of this, we connected all the line. And then at the center back, we're going to divide what you have there from the top line to the cross line into two. Then you connect like so. Then at that angle, in a case where this is not joining the right way, you can adjust this midpoint here such that it accommodates this line. So now take our waistband. So at that angle, I came out by 1.75 and then we took the waistband of 2 inches just like we did for the front. So now this is going to make up the band for the back pattern and then we're going to label as well. Haven't done this, we'll cut it all out. So looking at the pattern now, we're going to join the side of the band together so we can have a straight line like so. And then we have a defined center back, center front, up and down. So this is what we have as a cutout pattern. And then we just go ahead to sew. So we join the center front together to make a straight seam like so, and then join the center back as well to make straight seam like so. So now that I have joined all of those sides together, it's time to work on the side seams. So here I placed pockets, but I didn't record that. So having joined the side seams, it's now time to run the bands in. But first, let's sew in the inner seams. Please ensure you add sewing allowance to your pattern before you cut on the fabric. Sewing allowance is different from
okay, so this is what we have. Haven't done all of that, sewn the sides. You can see the bit of shape that I said I wanted by the side. So now let's move to the band. This is the band that I cut out. So remember that I joined the side of the pattern this way so I can have it as a stretch, and then I'll be able to cut with folds, right? So now please ensure that you label correctly so you don't put the end of the front to the back like interchangeably. So you can see I have it on fold like this, and on my label I've already notched it as well And on the labeling that I did, this is the side, this is the center front, and this is the center back. So the center back is where I put in as the folded edge. So if you want, you can add a rope string, a drawstring at the front. So that's why there is this allowance of 0.5 here. So even if you're not going to be adding a drawstring, you can always have this allowance to sew on. So now what I'm going to do is, as it is like this, this is the waist area and this is the lower part where I'll be joining to the shorts itself by the hands here. So now I'm going to go ahead and open this up like so. You can see the curve. This is the reason why this was done this way. So now you place it right side on right side, and then you sew the upper part all the way down, so you can have it as one piece. The reason for this is just so your waist is not straight. So why make a straight band when you can follow the right step to do, right? So I'm going to go ahead and sew this all the way, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now I have gone ahead to join it, and then it's now at a piece, and this is the notched area here that indicates the side. I've also given it a top stitch from inside so that it's going to lay really flat. If you wish, you can trim off the excess, but it doesn't really matter because we want a rushed effect around that area, so I usually leave it. Now you can see the curve around the side here because this band is not totally straight. So now, as we have it already, this is what this band is going to look like if it is placed on the shorts already. You see, this is the effect we want to have because our waist is not straight. Can you see the slant line around here? So now what we're going to do next is to put right side facing right side and wrong side facing wrong side, like so, so that we can join the center front of this band. So now you're going to sew in with the allowance that you left or that you picked out when you were drafting. So I left half of an inch around here, so I'm going to sew half of an inch around here like this. Now this is the point. If you want a drawstring anywhere around, so it's going to be at the side where you are facing the front of the band to the front of the shorts, if I'm making any sense. So you are going to be leaving space in between your sewing to allow your drawstring to pass, but I am not using a drawstring, so I'm just going to sew all the way down the half of an inch that I left as allowance. Then once I do that, let me demonstrate what it will look like. Then this is going to cover up like so, and then our band is going to be just one piece. This might look like a lot of trouble, but trust me, it gives you the perfect fit that you want, like this, and then the band is almost ready. So now I already went ahead to cut my elastic. You know, the band size we're using is 2 inches, so I have a 2 inches band size elastic here. Can you see? This is 2 inches, and I just subtracted a few inches from my waist. The waist is 32, and then I subtracted 2 inches away from my waist, and then this is what I have as a straight band. So then I just joined the end of this band. If you have an interlocker, you can interlock this to make it more secure. So once this band is fixed at the center front like so, you are going to place your band elastic inside of it like this, and then you sew all the way around by pulling the elastic such that it goes round. You can see right now that the elastic is shorter than the band size itself, but you're going to make sure that it fits inside of this band that we have already here. So let's get to that. So now this is what we have, and then on the trouser, on the pants, we're going to put in the front like so, this way. You locate the center front where your seam is, and then you sew on half of an inch all around.
Adjust all the sides of the washed area, and then the pant is going to be looking just this clean. So this is what we have, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all of the good stuff. So I see you in another video. Bye. Thank you. Bye.